Welcome to episode 254 of Dial the Gate, the Stargate Oral History Project. My name is David Reed. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I am really excited because for a long time now, I've been wanting these two sci-fi titans to join me for a single episode of Dial the Gate, and they are David Hewlett, Meredith McKay of Stargate Atlantis, and Kate Hewlett. Hello. How are you both?
I'm worried about Kate. I think Kate has been kidnapped and is in an empty house somewhere, and we've got to find her.
And David's a hoarder in the garage. Who needs to be rescued.
We've exhausted ourselves by arguing in the preamble, basically.
Could you see, while you were talking, could you see the actions we were doing because they were inappropriate?
No.
Okay,
I was trying to get the show on.
What?
Oh,
it wouldn't be a good start.
How are you guys doing? Are you both in the same city? How far are you guys from each other?
No.
Far as
She's in the
possible.
Hammer. Very far away. She arrived back in town like yesterday, and I'm leaving tomorrow.
Are you just going to talk the whole time?
I am. Yeah.
So Toronto.
Hewlett. That's it.
He's
I'm sorry,
in Toronto,
Kate, did you
and
want
I'm
to
in
answer
Hamilton.
that?
Hamilton.
I'm in Hamilton,
Okay.
which is about an hour away. But how many times have you visited me, David?
As little as possible. As little as possible. Yeah.
Oh.
What do you mean zero? I was there the other
Once.
day. Yeah.
What?
This is why I don't visit you, because you
No,
forget.
you weren't here the other day. You missed her birthday.
Oh.
Georgina.
Oh, I was
The
away.
baby?
Wasn't I in England?
I think you were in Prague.
Oh, darling. I'm afraid I was in Prague. I'm so sorry. I couldn't make the party, Prague.
So now whenever she's angry at us, she tells us she wants us to go to Prague.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like my son telling everyone that I worked with monkeys for a living. When he was about that age, he would tell everyone I just work with monkeys. I was like, you do not know how closely you are right. You know what I mean?
David, how is Tech Bandits? What's going on with you guys?
It's kind of exciting, actually. We've got this. I've somehow managed to convince a University of Toronto professor to use it in her biology class, and she's run with it, and the students seem to really like it. So they were creating escape room puzzles for kids age grade 8 to 12. Biology related, obviously, and it was really fun. They had things like COVID is mutated into a zombie virus, and like having a lot of fun with it. And apparently they liked it so much they've gone and they've got a fund for it now. Like they've got it funded, and they're doing like a summer program, which I'm now hoping to be, hopefully going to be around to at least be able to participate in some of the escape room research. But
That's really cool.
Are you dying?
That's kind of it. Am I what?
Dying?
Am I dying?
To participate in the
around.
research?
I hope
You'll
to be around. Yes. But, with my ailing health and old age, I am concerned I might not make it. What are you talking about? No. I mean, I hope I'm going to be around, that I'm not going to have to do stupid acting work.
Jeez, man. David,
Stupid acting that gets in the way.
you and I, 20th anniversary of Stargate Atlantis this year. You and I have known each other for 19 years. Kate, I think,
So sorry.
18 or 17. I want to say off the bat, you guys have always been wonderful to me. You've never said no to a request that I've had. And
Pathetic, isn't it?
Total desperation.
Yeah, desperation. Please, God. He likes me. He really likes me.
Oh, but it's in looking back on all the work that I've been able to do with you guys. I can't thank you enough, and it means a lot to have you guys together. I don't think I've seen you together since the A Dog's Breakfast panel at Creation when the movie aired. Kate, I think you were there for that, weren't you?
I think that's the last time David and I were in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
that
are
sounds
you
about right.
talking about? You're just making crap up. I just have to point out how bad we are at taking. People say nice things to us. We do not know what to do with that. So thank you very, very much. That was very nice of you to say so. And yeah, that's It's just so funny how we both immediately went to wacky, wacky, wacky. But yeah, it's been 20 years. It's
interviews
insane.
And the interviews with you are always so much fun.
Well, I appreciate it.
With
And
me, yes. Yeah.
jeez. And these interviews are kind of like almost like a small convention. So it's kind of cool to get everyone together. It is a lot of work, and it's like herding cats. So, Kate, what's going on? What's going on in your world?
My world?
Yeah.
Well,
Nothing. Look behind her. There's nothing there.
There's a real mess over there. Over
She's
there,
a big writer now.
David's backdrop. Things are good. It's like mostly child.
Yeah.
What about the writing?
Yeah, I know.
If you haven't seen The Swearing Jar, go and download it. It is a great film. I love this movie. It's good. So that's Kate's project.
It is annoyingly good, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
That's the first time you've ever said that.
No, I think I said exactly that before. It's like my go-to quote.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was like my first passion project. Really, it took, I told you, it took 20 years basically, because I started it as a play and all that stuff. But right now I'm doing my second passion project, which is
Jesus, you're gonna be like 100 years old when they make it.
I know, this is the problem. I have to go a little faster this time. But this one is sort of loosely deals with our family a little bit.
What?
And loosely.
It better be loosely, otherwise I want.
It
life
loosely
rights.
deals with our sister, and
we have no sister. What are you talking about?
AMC is on board. AMC Studios are on board. They're helping me write the pilot, and not helping.
You need a whole studio to help you write it.
David, let her talk.
They're giving me an opportunity to be paid to write the pilot.
So is this really going to be a series, a limited series?
1 hour, not even a limited series. No, hopefully it's like, I think in my brain it's five seasons. So,
okay. You're going to need more than 5 seasons to cover everything that I've done.
I know, exactly. Exactly. I think we may do time jumps. But I think it's, right now we're just doing the pilot. And so I'm just writing the pilot, and it's the first drama I've written in a long time. So it's really different, and I'm approaching it more the way I approach The Swearing Jar, which is to sort of just write and find the story and find the characters and that sort of thing.
For 10 years.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I hope not. I have to write it in 4 months this time. I've got 4 months.
Well, necessity can be the mother of invention. So
deadlines are very good for me.
The weekend before that last month, you're going to be. I can see you very busy. Very busy.
Yeah.
David, what do you like? Yeah.
Is it going to be?
Have you told Dad yet?
Yeah.
Dad knows, but I'm not getting too into. Dad knows.
She was worried about telling Dad. She wasn't worried about telling me. She's worried about telling Dad. I thought. Well,
you're
funny.
not in it.
What? The hell?
I kill you in the pilot.
Because you can't afford me. Is that what it is?
I'm just kidding.
He's going to come back as a ghost.
Yeah. No one.
They eat for your craft service.
It's just like.
That's what she's going to say. No one's herself. That's how she gets away with it. Yeah.
Does it have?
It's not.
Does it have humor?
Yes. It's called Everything is Funny.
Oh, really?
What?
That's
a terrible title.
Everything is Funny. A drama.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Everything's Drama, a comedy? I think that's better.
I wouldn't get paid as much.
And I would move back to the light that you had before with the window.
God's sakes.
I just want to point out that I have given Kate advice on every aspect of her life and career, and she has quite wisely ignored me on all of them.
Like
every single one of them. What the hell's that?
That is a 3.
Yeah.
Or so exciting.
A butt.
A mustache. I was going to say a mustache, but okay. That's horrible.
David, take me back to season 1.
Beginning of this interview.
And let's start again. Yes.
There was an episode.
Take back that part about enjoying the last 20 years.
Called Letters from Pegasus. Yes. And there was a line that they're giving letters home because there's a really good chance that they're all about to die.
Terrible mistake this was.
Tell me the story about changing the brother to sister.
Yeah, I was concerned they were going to hire someone more handsome and famous than me, so I asked them to change it to sister. Um, no, actually, I was reading it and I just said like in passing, sort of, look, I have five younger sisters, and one of them has some desperate pathetic attempts at being an actor. And on the off chance that maybe she's grown up enough to actually get some talent, what if I just said sister? Because that'll be more fun. It's a more fun dynamic, anyways. And they're like, yeah, sure, that sounds like a great idea. And then Garrow kind of ran with it from there. Garrow saw Kate in a play and said, "Boy, she's got a lot of Hewlettisms." And
I wonder why.
not quite as good, obviously, as David, but there's work that could be done. And yeah, so it was honestly, it was just a silly, kind of. I know how these things go. I knew that Stargate was going to run for a while. That they might want to explore all options when it came to stories. So I just thought I'd throw that in there, and I'm regretting it. To this day.
So, Kate, never let it be said that he never did anything for you.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think he might take a little more credit for it. But actually, I forgot about the play. I forgot that he saw me in a play. I always tell the story more like you said sister, and then you did Dog's Breakfast so that he could see me act, and then I give you a lot more credit.
Well, I like that story.
I think that's not true.
Martin
and
Garrow.
I had to audition.
No. Yeah?
Yeah, Martin Garrow.
Dogs.
Sorry.
I had to audition. I'd already played freaking McKay before they made me audition. They're jerks.
You had to audition for your own part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking
and the casting agent kept telling me to be less. He's like, no, it's too McKay. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. And then we just do it again the same way. He's like, yeah, you're just not quite getting it. I was like, I don't know what it is. Let's go again, and because he kept saying like, no, it's too McKay. You got to be nicer. You got to be this. I'm like, yeah, okay, I got this.
So you auditioned for the same part before it became McKay?
Before it became McKay, yeah.
I didn't know that, David. I thought they brought you in because of McKay. I didn't know you auditioned fresh.
They brought me in to audition because of McKay.
Because of McKay, but not for McKay. Role. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I spent the whole audition going like, there's no way that you can play McKay and then show up as a different character.
Benjamin Ingram.
Like a year later. Ingram's not going to, so.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Well.
Also, David only knows how to play one character.
I only have one character and a few looks, only a few looks.
Yeah.
Although my new looks are great now because I can't wait. I'm moving into that phase where I'm just going to be dying in beds. I cannot wait for that stage. Just like dying in beds, like a few last words. Kate, come to me.
Oh, why am I there?
Loved you. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know why you're there, but
I remember Martin Garrow conversing with me and him talking about letters from Pegasus and have David saying, let's change brother to sister, and Martin originally was like, yeah, sure, David, like we're gonna hire a sister, like that's gonna happen. And then he saw you in the play and he was like, I think there's something here, and Martin had a lot of stories that he was whittling for years. Like he was working on Sunday in season 1. He had that idea, so right. it was cool to watch kind of that unfold. And then Kate, you just became a part of the family, I mean, they
like a cancer.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez. Oh gosh. And it was
Not
great.
Sure that metaphor works super well.
No, it does. You're just like, Hewlett cells, but really horribly deformed and
But it was great. It was great to have these two for the course of the rest of the season, especially all the way through to like the shrine.
I was just showing off my Prague Comic-Con mug. The reason why I couldn't be at the birthday party that she's accusing me of not attending.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm trying to be serious here, guys.
Come on, David. Keep up, David. Come on.
He doesn't like when you talk about other people.
It is interesting how they don't like. I feel like there's a little maybe, and this is Kate can probably talk to this better than I can because she actually writes. But there's kind of a king of your own kingdom thing, and people like make suggestions, and I think there's a kind of a nerdy response of like, no, it's my world, I'm going to make it. You know what I mean? There's a kind of and I feel like there's always a bit of pushback when you get outside, especially actors, because actors always have stupid ideas, to be honest. And it's one of those things that for the most part, I try not to change lines because I just don't. I hate those actors that come and go like, "Why would I say?" It's like, yeah, discuss it before we get on set. But I feel like I think after years of Stargate and dealing with a million different actors and stuff, they were quite reticent to sort of go with that kind of stuff. So it's nice to see when things work out. But I think it's a good thing because I think it filters out the crap. Like I think, they did see. I mean, Kate got the role because Kate got the role. It just happened that if it was, it just happened. It was just nice that there was a role to have there. So I mean, it would have been weird for her showing up in any other role. Like we are very similarist.
But we did that on the other when you came and acted on the show that I was in.
Oh,
they didn't even put us in a scene together.
It was the weirdest thing.
So tell me this story. So you weren't related in this other story, but
that's right. That is weird.
I was doing a YTV sitcom, and I played the mom. And they were like, "We're gonna get David in to be in the show," and I think I talked to them about it. I think I
was
probably
expecting
brought it up.
Crazy Uncle David or something like.
I know, and then he came up. He came in and played an astronaut, and we didn't have a scene together or anything. And then I think there was one scene where it was like a huge group scene, and I was like, "There's nothing." You had all these scenes with my husband.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine was with my husband. Yeah,
that's right. And it was. I remember that was.
It was pleasant.
It was fun. That was a really fun shoot, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep him over there, away from me. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the best way to work, I think. Far away.
Far away.
It was. I remember I tweeted Chris Hadfield and sent him a photo of myself dressed as an astronaut because it was sort of a silly version of Chris Hadfield, and he was not amused. I got this tweet back like, "I don't think so." And it was this kind of like, I was like, "Oh, what do you think, Chris Hadfield?" "I don't think so." So yeah, he's like the nicest guy to everyone except me now, I'm sure.
Tell me a story of each of you. Tell me a story from childhood, please.
My memory's
like a good story, you're gonna ruin Kate's show. It's all about that.
I want to know a story.
I've got one.
That
I got
encapsulates each of you.
Okay, I got a perfect one. I get this great role on this amazing movie with all these freaking movie stars, and it's got Christopher Plummer in it. It's got all these people, Dabney Coleman, Uma Thurman, who else?
Jesus was in it. He was very
Jesus was
good.
in it too. Jesus was amazing. Although I thought he overdid it a bit, I thought. But and Kate and my mom came to visit the set.
I don't know this story.
Oh, you wait. And I'm standing there on set with Chris Plummer, and Kate comes up and whacks me in the forehead, just full on smack in the forehead.
No.
What?
You're mixing it. You're turning into Dad. That's amazing. No. That's not the story.
Is the dad role a better one? Because I'll take that. That's fine. If a dad role, I'll play dad.
No, the slapping you in the forehead, you had just been in a terrible play. And after the play, we're all standing around.
What's the terrible play?
Can't remember. Outside the theater.
Yeah.
And it was like Vincenzo and a whole bunch of people, like all your people who ended up being super famous.
Yeah, that's when you stepped in the dip. You stepped in the chip
that
dip.
was at home. I stepped in the dip. This was outside the theater. You were surrounded by everyone. You were surrounded by all your friends. And I came running over and I slapped you in the forehead.
Whacked it. And there was
everyone was like,
perfect like finger shaped mark on my forehead. But of course, that's all we used to slap each other in the forehead all the time. So yeah.
It's your
Plummer, did I?
You did it in front of Christopher Plummer as well.
I may have blocked that out.
What did
how
did Christopher Plummer react?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, you know why you don't remember?
Because I had a stinging forehead because I. No, I don't remember. But I just remember being absolutely mortified because I'm trying to be cool.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I did slap him in front of some important people, and I didn't know that they were. I thought they were just like people who had seen the show, and I didn't realize. And then it was.
Is it really appropriate in front of anyone, though? Honestly, I mean, let's think about it.
It was such a win, though. I had like it was a perfect moment to do.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it because I didn't expect you to be so unprofessional. That's what it was. All right, what's your story?
I'm gonna tell. It's not a childhood story.
Okay.
became friendly with Michael Sheen. We did a movie together.
Oh, Jesus. God.
And we hit it off, and we became friends. And then he would like invite me he did a show in England, and I got tickets. I got to go see it. And
This is a name dropping.
Yeah. And then he met my
name dropped
sister.
Christopher Plummer.
You totally
He's
did.
dead,
Like,
for God's sake. Show some respect.
What? I'm sorry. I couldn't let that stand. Kate,
Sorry.
continue, please.
You obviously don't have siblings.
Thank you.
I don't.
I know whose side you're on. You know?
Michael Sheen.
Thank you.
You
Michael
embarrassed
Sheen.
me about Michael Sheen.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So then he met my sister, my younger sister, the other one. Not my younger sister. That's a lie. My older sister.
You have a younger sister?
But the younger of the two, not the one that the show is about.
Can we use names? Because I'm confused.
Jenny.
Oh, Jenny. Okay,
so,
right.
But not Jeannie.
He met Jenny.
Okay.
He met
Jenny,
not
the smart
Jeannie.
one.
Not Jeannie.
Yeah.
He met Jenny and got along with Jenny really well. And then afterwards, he sent me an email saying the Hewlett genes are very strong or something like that. He made some joke because our sister is very beautiful. And he said something about the Hewlett genes. And then I told David the story, and David said, you should have sent him a picture of me back. And I was like, I did.
And she sent the photo of me cross-eyed with a bowl of popcorn on set with her. Like I look like the troubled son. You know, it was do you have the photo?
I just remember you had one ear plugged.
It was not pretty.
Phones.
It was not. I was like, really?
And and so I was like, I did. I sent that back as a response.
I literally looked like
anything. He never responded.
Like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. It was like I was like the Steve Martin role in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, where he's like doing the, could you pass the butter, please? It was just this whole I need to go to the bathroom. It was like one of those. Yeah. So.
Oh man.
I swear to
That's
God,
a
you had
great
tears.
story.
You had tears in your eyes.
When
I said I did send it. Yeah, I thought he was really upset. I thought Jane was like.
Jane was freaking angry.
Furious.
Jane was actually angry.
She was angry. I've never seen her so angry.
She was not
and I
happy.
remember going to bed being like, oh my God, did I cross the line? Because I didn't think
You
there was
did cross
a
the line, totally. Absolutely crossed the line.
But then afterwards, the next day I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that would upset you. You're so conceited.
Actors are never like perceiving themselves that way. I don't know why you would have been concerned.
No, I didn't care as much as Jane did.
But Jane did. But then you said, and I quote, you're like, I'm so horrified, but so proud.
At the same time. Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
With tears in your eyes.
It was genius. It was pure
proud.
genius. But at the same time, it did feel, Well, Jane's point was just that, like, she goes, this is the business. Like, you can't now, like, what, now he thinks of it when, when your name comes up for a role, it's only going to be like some, mentally challenged, role in a, whatever that was. I think she was just a bit worried about presentation.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that Michael would be like, this is my family. You're getting a private photo of I'm assuming it was a private moment. I'm expressing my love through my deranged psychopathic brothers.
To be fair, it was a photo you had posted online.
Oh yeah, I posted online.
Out there.
That's why I wasn't so worried about it.
I Googled him and it was like the second photo.
It's one of the second photos. Yeah, that's it. And to be fair, I found the best screenshot still of Kate from a film we worked on together, and I blew it up and put it on a T-shirt for her birthday party. So I wore like the most unattractive shot of Kate that is in existence.
Afterwards?
Probably to this.
After this?
Oh yeah.
No, before.
No.
Yes.
No, it was Vengeance. I'm pretty sure.
So it would have had to have been afterwards.
David, I don't like the way this is going. This conversation. I'm ending this discussion right now. That's it. But I don't know how to hang up. I would if I could figure out how to hang up.
Anyway, that's not a childhood memory, but
no.
Brain Shatter wants to know, when is a dog's second breakfast coming, or a dog's bed and breakfast?
People
want dogs on a diet.
Want it.
We talked about dogs' bed and breakfast, and then
people outside of the industry want it, but in the industry nobody wants it. But in the industry, no one gives a crap.
Well, in Canada, they didn't. They might in the
Dog's bread.
States.
Dog's bread and breakfast we had actually a really good idea for a show based around a haunted haunted bed and breakfast that we thought would be more of a series approach than a film. But maybe we should make a film of it. The problem is we don't have the same resources, right? First off, we don't have me to pay for everything. Secondly, we don't have the crew. Maybe
but now I can pay for everything.
That's great. If you want to do that, go ahead. You pay for everything and get the crew, and then
I don't have any money.
I'll show up and hold the dead fish.
We just had to downsize into a smaller house. So
it's hard out there right now.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Well, when you look like Kate, yeah, I mean, you gotta go to writing.
Jeez, God's sakes, Jeremy Heiner.
Imagine if I just cried.
Just imagine Kate just loses it, just breaks down.
This time you've
I
gone
always
too far.
hated you. That's it. You are dying in the pilot, you bastard.
And I'm interested, Kate, in your answer of this from a writing perspective and using it as a tool to help you work. Jeremy Heiner wants to know, what are your guys' thoughts on generative AI from a technological perspective and an acting artist perspective, and how do you see it impacting our society? David and I talked a little bit about this in the rise of artificial intelligence, but I'm interested to hear both of your perspective from using it as a tool in the entertainment industry, because there's a lot of talk about that right now.
I know very little about this.
Okay.
I will give you my opinion anyway, because why not?
Because why not?
I feel like one of the biggest sources of income for me, and something I really enjoyed doing, was voice work. Yeah. That was my consistent income for 20 years. And then 2 years ago, there was a lockout of commercial, all commercial union actors were locked out. And
Explain,
it's absolutely brutal.
Locked out.
Basically, they couldn't come, the union and the Producers Association could not come to an agreement about how to continue to allow us to work and get paid for it. So basically, because there's no agreement, they just started hiring non-union workers.
So they had a stalemate.
Instead of, it's sort of a stalemate, but also it's we had no power. The union has no real power. So
it's a guild too. It's not even a union. It's actually a guild.
Yeah. And now it's a whole bunch of people who are incredible just got elected onto the Actor Council and are now doing something about this. But everyone who was a commercial actor or a commercial voice actor lost their living completely. And stuff like, I was the voice of Winners and Quaker and all these different, I had 5 campaigns, and it wasn't just I stopped getting new work. They took away those campaigns and gave them to non-union actors.
And it's not like you could even, it's not like she could go in and take them herself, because she's a union member, so she can't, she's not allowed to.
And I'm not, my union won't allow me.
Yeah, because you're on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to work. So that completely went away. So the AI thing is
all humans.
We're already in so much trouble that it's be surprised. Basically, whatever's cheapest.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to do whatever's cheapest. So I think David's approach to it of we have to grow with this instead of being no AI is bad. No, I think you have to figure out how the world is changing. You have to change with it. I think bad movies are going to be utilizing AI. I think good movies won't. I think there are certain genres and certain types of TV show and certain things that you probably could take the formula, pop the formula in, come up with a script, and then pay a writer to fix it up, which is trash. That is trashy, because you're paying people nothing to do the same job. But it's bad, but I think you have to figure out a way to work with it, because I think you can't just keep putting it off. Are you hearing
going
snoring?
Anywhere. I'm hearing just like a TV in the background or something. That's fine.
It's not a TV.
Oh. The snoring is just me. It's just you're talking, and it's
I'm going to actually show you, because it's kind of amusing.
Is it your dog?
Yeah.
Oh, is it that dog that I saw yesterday that you made Mom look after?
Oh.
Yeah, watch out though. If you sit at that butt end, it goes off periodically, and that is nasty.
Can you hear him though?
Looks like Mars.
Well, it is a Mars-like look, although Mars is much more beautiful.
He does look like Mars, but he's like Mars with bald spots. But anyway, that's what the noise is. I apologize. He snores like an old man.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should talk. Maybe when you talk, it should be a little more exciting, and then maybe he wouldn't be sleeping so much.
Yeah, whenever you talk, he wakes up.
David, I want your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's an interesting perspective because I feel like the biggest thing that I got out of the AI stuff of late is I feel like it's made me question what human creativity is. Like that's the biggest, weirdest thing for me is I go, is our power perhaps is the power of creativity potentially in the limitation of what we have access to, right? Like we're forced to make jumps creatively because we have a limited pool of experiences and things that we've read and stuff. AI has an unlimited, basically, repository for this stuff. So potentially, I think we will always come up with stuff that's going to be different than the AI because the AI has to and will contemplate it across all of them, whereas we have our own weirdly unique. We have to make, in a way, larger jumps creatively because we have to go like, what do we know? How do we create a story out of what do we know? Okay, let's take. I mean, so silly example for me. Recently, I did a little thing called. I was playing with the AI tools, and I wanted something to sort of put it in, if that makes sense, like a project to work on to do that. And there was one that I was joking about for years called Mad Mouse. Furry Road was the idea. And so I used AI to make a little trailer for Mad Mouse Furry Road. And, you've got Furiosa, you've got, instead of Immortal Joe, you had Immortal Joey, which was a little kangaroo. I mean, like it was, but because of AI and the tools available, I could put something into the world. I mean, this is not a movie we'll make, but it was something that was fun to sort of exercise that creative sort of spirit using these tools. And I think as Kate's hit it bang on the head there, probably stole it from me, but is the idea that we have to do an AI audit on everything in our lives, basically, and see where it can be used as a tool that can help us because the genie's out of the bottle on this stuff. Like, I don't feel like it's going away. I mean, you talk about commercials. There is no way they're going to pay actors once they can just type a prompt in and have it and have someone. It'll like listen to the audio on ChatGPT now. I mean, it's fabulous. It sounds like a person.
Like I when there's an opportunity to have news stories read to you by an AI, you can press a button on a lot of these websites and just listen to what they have to say. And for a long time, it was reading it, but the inflections weren't there at the appropriate spots because you're listening to this now and going, it's just reading it to me, but it doesn't feel like a human is reading it to me, understanding the significance of the chunks of the sentences and the topics at hand. And like David said, it's there now. And it's like,
I had a 10-minute conversation. with ChatGPT the other day, asking it to explain to me the different stages of cell growth using the term biological terminology for it. Because the biggest issue with biology is there's just a ton of stuff you have to learn before you can even start learning about biology. Like there's so much terminology around it to learn. And science. I had a 10-minute conversation on my phone with an entity that was answering my questions, and I would say, no, I don't understand that. Can you make that simpler? And it would explain to me in a simpler form.
Can I pause you for a minute?
Yeah, of course. Because you got a call.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's just like, can I just pause you for a second? Yes, I'd like a large pizza.
Yeah, that's
with,
do you have oat milk? Do you have oat milk?
I'm trying to get this to work.
Oat milk. Yeah.
Who are David Hewlett and Kate Hewlett?
David Hewlett
Friends
and
of
Kate Hewlett are Canadian actors who are also siblings. David Hewlett is well known for his role as Dr. Rodney McKay in the Stargate television series, particularly Stargate Atlantis. He has also appeared in various films and TV shows, both in acting and directing capacities.
Go on.
Kate Hewlett is also an actress and writer, and she has appeared alongside her brother in Stargate Atlantis, playing his character's sister, Jeannie Miller. She has worked in theater, television, and film.
What is their best episode together in
wait a
Atlantis?
second. She's worked in.
I hate everything. So it's just the same as
Stargate Atlantis is often considered to be McKay and Mrs. Miller from season 3. In this episode, Rodney McKay, played by David Hewlett, reconnects with his estranged sister Jeannie Miller, played by Kate Hewlett. The episode showcases their sibling dynamic and provides a mix of humor, drama, and emotional depth. Fans and critics alike have praised the chemistry and performances of both Hewletts in this episode.
Well, is that true?
Which of them is a better actor?
What? Shut up.
David Hewlett.
It's tough to say who is a better actor between David
Not for
and
me.
Kate Hewlett, as it often comes down to personal preference and the types of roles they play. David Hewlett has had more high-profile roles, particularly in science fiction, which might make him more recognizable to some audiences. Kate Hewlett, on the other hand, has also received praise for her performances, especially in theater and her writing. Each has their strengths, and it really depends on what you're looking for in their performances.
Boy, that was Switzerland, huh? Boy,
that inflection. I mean,
Amazing.
it's extraordinary. And now that it's plugged into the web, oh man, here we go.
But here's the other thing that I don't think people are considering as well is the fact that this is like the early days of the internet with no concern about security at all. If you put your script into ChatGPT or any of these programs, we do not know where that ends up.
Don't know where the end of the pipe is.
Yeah. In fact, the reason why it's being banned in a lot of like corporate environments is because you send a letter out to have it proofread you. You've just sent it a press release a week earlier or something. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of issues here, and I think people aren't understanding. There was a really interesting thing. We talked about the Mad Mouse Furry Road thing. I showed my son the little trailer that I posted, and he's like, "Huh," and I was like, "Don't you think that's like?" I said, "Isn't this cool?" I mean, not the. I was like, "Look at what you could do," and he's like,
"Aren't I
whatever.
amazing, Baz? Aren't I amazing?"
Yeah, but I mean,
that's kind of what I was saying.
Baz is already
but he
over
called
it.
it boomer art.
Yeah,
it's boomer art. He's like, you guys are excited about it. It's just normal for us. Like whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. How many likes do I have today? You know, how many followers did I get today? These kids, they're so number driven now, and their status, their personal self-worth, if they are plugged into that system, is determined so much by the numbers that they have in their lives and the numbers that their peers have in their lives. It's really scary.
I feel that's changing though.
Yeah?
For Baz's age, I feel
so.
like that's beginning to wane. Like I feel like it's like there's a certain like he cringes at all of my
How old is
social
he
media
now?
stuff. He's 16.
Okay.
Well, he'll be 17, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the dog.
No,
I
need to silence him.
I can't hear
Why do you
him.
need to be closer? Yeah, we can't hear him
you
at all.
can't?
You've got
Oh my
noise
God.
canceling headphones on.
I do?
Zoom is really good at cutting out background noise.
These
with
are
its
noise
AI.
canceling.
No, but Zoom
were-
does. Zoom does it does a cleanup as well.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. It's just he sounded like he was about to have a heart attack and die.
No, it's okay.
So I'm just trying to.
I mean, I'm excited about this stuff. Like, I think there's a great. I mean, from a writing perspective, I mean, Jane made me do some writing the other day, and I had to look stuff up. It's fantastic for that. I mean, as Google gets worse and worse, and more sponsored links pop up instead of actual content. Perspective AI has been really useful. ChatGPT. I use Midjourney all the time.
I don't know what that is. Like I know what
Yeah.
it is, but I've never been to. Is it an app? Is it a site? I'm such a loser.
I mean, Midjourney is you use Discord to use it. So you're basically having a chat with it's almost like having a chat with it. You ask it to do something and it pops up an image type thing.
It creates images
but
for you.
I pay for all these tools now. Like and
you're applying them
and I see my
professionally
son-
too, David. You're not just curious about it. So there is an application there.
That's what I keep telling my wife when she says, "Why are we spending?" I'm like, "It's work. It's definitely
That's
work."
correct.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see. There may be stuff. I mean, I wondered about even doing like a little like an ACTRA course for this because I think there's a tendency or a writer one because I think there's a tendency for people to fall into one of two categories now, where they're either completely opposed to it like everything in our world is so polarized. You're either completely against it and never want to touch it, or you can't use any of it, otherwise you've somehow sullied your work. And there's other people who are like, wow, I could put out 50 scripts and whatever. I could write that novel I always didn't get around to writing because AI will do it for me. I feel like somewhere in the middle we got to find a place where we can use it as a tool, because I mean I remember the teacher sending back my Commodore 64 typed out essay because they said that I had cheated by using a computer to type it out. And I think that's where we're at with a lot of people right now, where they're like, AI, well then that's not your work then. It's like, well,
That's the thing. I mean, it's like photography versus painting. It's like anything. People are going to fight progress in any way, and it's always scary at the beginning, and it's always the Wild West at the beginning. And I don't know. I just think all this stuff is kind of already happening.
Yeah, you can't roll
and
it
it doesn't
back.
replace. It doesn't necessarily replace. Like theater didn't die. Theater's doing better than ever. I mean,
books didn't die. Now, people still read books.
I don't.
TV didn't kill books.
People do. Yeah,
no, I don't either. I read.
There are some things that do. I mean, horse-drawn carriages aren't gone, but they aren't ubiquitous anymore. There are certain things. I think
there will be less of. Yeah.
But that's entertain. Like that. This is entertainment.
Yeah.
This is not survival.
That's true too. Yeah.
Right?
Well, our dad raises a really interesting point when he talks about the horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah.
They were worried that London was going to be overrun with horse manure.
Yep.
They were really worried. They're like, what are we going to do? Oh my God, we're screwed. Unless we get rid of all these horses, we're doomed. Well, we got automobiles, you know what I mean? So
is that how he denies climate change? That's how he
designs. That's how he gets around the whole climate change thing. Yeah.
Well, I would never underestimate human ingenuity to solve problems, and if anyone's going to save us, I believe it is us. I don't believe it's a higher power or anything. I think that at the end of the day, our problems will be solved by us when us decides to put down our issues with one another and get to work. So because that's how we were designed. That's what it is that we do. I got just a few minutes left with you guys. Can I go a little sappy?
Uh-oh.
I know.
Don't make Kate cry.
She
gets all puffy and it's not pretty.
It's true. Ugly crier.
Kate, can you tell me what you admire about your brother? And please do go ahead and take a moment to tell me about what you don't admire about him. But do tell me what you admire about him.
You want to hear what I don't admire about him as well?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
But like 10% compared to what you admire about him.
What do I admire about my brother?
This is your life.
Okay, so my favorite swear word is
it's okay. We're 50 minutes in. You can give it.
That questionnaire they ask in the actor studio. Anyway.
Yeah, it was actor studio. Yeah. Lipton.
James Lipton.
So there are many things. I can't think of a. I
can't think of one.
One of the biggest things is, and one of our greatest differences too, is that David is very, very self-made. The education thing, you have learned everything on your own. You didn't like school. You didn't do well in school. You're a dumb. I'm just kidding. You
beauty school dropout.
You did not like. And then you could have just gone into acting and that's it. And you did well and you've always done well. But you learned how to design websites and you stayed on top of technology and you learned what you were interested in and you got your degree, correct?
Never got my degree. No.
I thought you went back and got your degree.
No.
But he sure makes it seem like he did.
It doesn't matter is the thing. You don't. It's Moira.
I photoshopped
Moira
one
went back.
and put it up. Yeah.
Moira went back.
Moira went back. Yeah, Moira went back.
It's Moira I admire.
So it's Moira you admire.
You taught yourself everything you know, and I often say you're one of the smartest people I know, and you don't have a massive education, right? So that's one of the big things. One of the other things that I admire is that he's one of the only actors I like. No, that's not true. That's not true. I like a lot of actors. I have a lot of actor friends. He's an actor who is not actory at all. And like in a, he doesn't enjoy talking about himself other than this interview. And
Other than in public.
he doesn't talk about acting very much. He doesn't, get off on getting recognized. He doesn't, that was a gross way of putting that.
Yeah,
and
you made it weird.
I made it weird.
Yeah,
And also he's so handsome. He's so handsome. No, he's just very motivated and self-made, and he gives himself deadlines. He does everything. He also tries everything. He tries everything. He tries, acid. I'm just kidding. No, it's like writing scripts, directing, everything. This whole thing, working with the university, and yeah, I just think it's amazing. And when I subscribed to his thingamy, it's called
The newsletter?
Yeah,
and then
I
I
can't
stopped sending
understand.
it.
Yeah, because I don't understand what's going on. But I read it and I'm like, this is a very smart person who knows things about science, and I don't.
David?
Is that enough?
What about the things she doesn't like? That's the fun stuff.
I think we'll just accept this as a nice pass.
It's so funny because
go again.
everything that you say, all of that, that's all stuff I see. I can turn all of that around and go like, yeah, I never finish anything. I'm always changing my mind. I'm always, I've never got a degree. I'm always,
Of
So
course.
it's so funny how you see from the inside, you see things so completely differently. Kate just drives me nuts because she's,
You misunderstood the question.
That's a backhanded. Okay, what's the positive?
Just because I remember with the acting, it was like, oh, I want to be an actor. Could you work on this audition piece for me? And she does the audition piece, and I'm literally she just nailed it. I'm like, I got there's no notes. Just shut up and go be famous. You know what I mean? It was so, and then the writing and just how I literally tried to talk her out of all of this stuff because I thought it was just too difficult and soul destroying for people. And I always say Kate's the funniest woman I've ever met. Just she can make people, myself included, laugh like nobody else, usually at her, but it's but sometimes she gets a good crack in there as well. But yeah, it's just again I don't how the hell you managed to do the writing and go back to school for. She's gone to school for. She's my complete opposite. She went to school for the acting. She went to school for the education, and then she went to school for the film world. And I said that she shouldn't do any of it, and she did it all. And so it's just so interesting to see two completely different paths and yet in the same business. I mean, it's kind of one of the things I love about the film.
I didn't go to school for education, though.
Didn't you? I thought you were going to be a teacher.
No, that was Moira.
No, you were going to be. Didn't you go to university as well, though?
I went to university. I did my undergrad.
Well, that's what
Not
I'm talking
in
about.
education.
Well, you were being educated.
He's trying.
I don't know what happened
Kate,
at university. I never went. I don't know what you guys are doing at university.
Basically,
Acid,
we both complimented Moira in our answer.
Yeah, we both. She's just amazing, Moira. I mean, Kate, Jenny. Well, yeah, whatever. Yeah, but we're a weird family. We just don't nobody's allowed to. You can be proud for other people, but you can't sort of voice your own stuff because you just get shot down in our family so quickly.
We started telling each other when our parents said nice things about them because you don't I didn't realize. I just thought I was a disappointment and everyone was very pleased with David because
and that's true.
I would hear ChatGPT agrees, but I would hear this sort of about how amazing he was and everything from my parents, but they never said anything to me, so I just assumed they weren't. And then he was like, wait, they tell me about you. So now
it's hilarious. I hear how
it.
brilliant all of my sisters are, and oh my God, why don't you go and do that? And why don't you? You're like, I should totally. Yeah, no, my father's hilarious that way. My father would I would call him, and he'd go I can't talk right now. I'm watching a show with my with Helen, and then you hang up on me. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, I only talk to him once every so often. I found out he was watching Stargate. He just wouldn't tell me that. He hung up on his son to watch his son's show. It's so funny, The
first TV script I ever wrote, I hadn't watched the episode. and I told people about it. I now know I have to watch it first. And Dad watched it with me. So
Oh, that is a mistake.
It was not strong. It was not a strong. Anyway, so we're sitting in the living room together watching this episode that I had written, and I look over and he's like this.
Oh God.
And he goes, and I was like, Dad, are you okay? He's like, yes. Yes.
It's awful.
It's crap? Is that what he said? Dreadful.
It's just
Dreadful. Why do you keep cutting out?
I'm not sure.
Now we've lost you.
Have I been cutting out?
Here and there, yeah. It's been weird.
Yeah.
The dog. It's
Just
part
on
of
the
dog.
important funny
Wow.
part.
So it's cutting off the dog and you in the wow. Okay.
Oh.
That's a loud dog.
It's
that's what
mistaken
I'm
your
saying.
voice for the dog snoring. I could see that.
Yeah.
It's prioritizing the dog snoring.
Yeah, over your
Yeah.
yeah. But Dad's idea of a compliment's like sort of like I remember, and again, well, I mean the movie was terrible. I mean, and you were, in it. All right, enough said. That's my dad's idea. That's
Planet of
Dad
the
saying,
Apes.
"Wow, give him an Oscar.
Yeah.
Give that man."
He's better. He's better now.
Why is the music so loud? I'm like, Dad, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm playing my
That's
part.
basically-
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I've taken now to saying "love you, Dad," and it is the funniest thing because it's like trying to give a cat a bath. Like it just you can hear him sort of squirming at the bye, Tybok. That was it. It's hilarious.
Some people are just, they're harder with intimacy, and the mushy stuff.
It's a generational thing. Too,
I think so too. Yeah. I think that's a big part of it. And
British.
A couple of quick questions for you both. Alan Schoolcraft, David, are you ambidextrous? I've noticed in SGA you write with both hands.
No, I'm not. But I have this stupid thing where like I try to brush my teeth with a different hand every day just to try to. I'd like to get better. I'd like to be ambidextrous, and I feel like I used to be until I was taught to use my right hand. So I will sometimes just mess around just to get my brain working.
Gosh, Kate, if you had an opportunity to be in a Marvel adaptation, what character would you like to play in the Marvel universe?
I can't answer that.
Okay, that's a fair.
She-Hulk.
I think you would have been a good She-Hulk.
She would have been great. She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Look, she's even wearing green. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I would have been. I looked more like I can kick ass. I can't though.
Yes, you can.
I'm not a Marvel.
Okay.
I'd like to be Iron Man. Is that Marvel?
Yes.
Oh, Iron Man. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be
I'll be Iron
good.
Man.
That's good because it also covers your face. It's perfect.
Will you guys, at some point, work in another project together? Will we see you guys together again in the future in a project?
Well, I'm obviously going to be in her AMC thing. I mean, that's just I just assume that, right? I mean, that's.
I thought maybe I was going to.
Yes, of course we will at some
Okay.
point. I'm assuming at some point we will, won't we? I mean, it's like.
I don't really. I haven't been acting as much.
Hmm.
Am I cutting out?
There
again?
hasn't
No.
been as much acting to
You're
do.
okay.
Though. There hasn't been as much acting to do, really, though. So, I mean.
I can't see
No.
you. I can't see you being finished with though. I hope not, because you're
I hope
good.
not.
No,
too.
you're going to
Well,
act.
thank you. I hope not. I don't know. It's not. Yeah, I mean, I
The thing about acting is it's
wanna do
always
that.
there.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it. It is always there. If the right part comes up, you're there. I mean, that's what's great about it. I mean, that's so good about earning a living always. But it is always there. As long as you're still open to it, it's still there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's not a lot of work. It's still bad for women. Like it really is. There's not a lot of
Yeah.
work. I mean, it's crazy. You look at every call sheet. It's like, so there's not a lot of sort of character roles or interesting.
Dying in
recurring
beds.
or-
You wait.
I would
Dying
take
in
it. I would
beds.
take it. But I stopped.
That's
I
where
kind
I'm
of
going.
stopped auditioning. So
Okay.
I'll act in stuff that I write, and obviously I would always put David in anything I do, and you usually
course.
would put me in stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Right, David?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I try not to, but then you sort of you keep showing up.
I just if you just show up on day one, they figure it out.
That's it. Eventually, I should learn from that. It's true.
I would love to act with you again, though.
It's fun. Like, I mean, it really is fun, especially
Yeah.
when you're on someone else's set and it's not your problem.
Yeah.
It's just great. It's
That's
so
more
like,
fun.
yeah. But I feel like we're at a point now. I think you get to a point in your career where if they know who you are and you're right for the part, you get the role. It doesn't matter about the audition. It doesn't matter about any of the other stuff. It's just I think it's just either you know them or you don't, or they know you. And if they don't, at this stage, they're going to hire someone that they know. So I feel like there is we have our circle of influence, and when those things align, then you work, and when they don't, you don't. So, and I think you also get to a point where you're like, like you see, I see parts come up now, and I go like, this is not happening. It's not going to happen. And if it's fun, I find I'll put myself on tape because I enjoy the process.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do this
Exactly.
role. Like, I know I'm not going to do the role, but I enjoy doing the role. So I think this, as long as you can find some fun in it, that's the only way to do it, because it's such
I'm
an
exactly
odd
the
job.
same.
Yeah.
Most things I read and I'm like, oh, I would cast this person, and then I contact that person
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
say, have you auditioned for this part, because you would be right for it. Like there's
Yeah.
you just know when you read certain things, like you say, there's just no way. I don't know. Even certain things in the writing, in the dialogue, there are little clues, right? The writer gives you little clues about appearance, about all these different things. And sometimes I'm like, I know this is not happening.
I had one the other day that they said they had the character breakdown, and then they said at the end it said ideal casting, Mark Hamill. I'm like, well, why don't you hire Mark Hamill then? Like, 'cause
Why do
it's
they
like-
give
it's
you
like-
that? Why do
there's-
they show that to you?
I don't know. This is what I mean. I don't know. Where you're
Gosh.
like, why would you? Why? So in other words, we've got an offer out to Mark Hamill, but let's look for someone like him if we can. So
There was one time I went in for an audition, for a voice audition, and there was a male and female voiceover. And then for the male voiceover, they said they were looking for a Peter Mooney type, who's a friend of mine, a friend of David's now.
yeah.
A Peter
That's
Mooney
better fun
type.
for me, actually. But yeah.
And I told Peter about it, and he was like, I couldn't get an audition for that.
Oh my God! Seriously.
Wow.
Didn't get submitted. He didn't get submitted.
I-
And it said a Peter Mooney type.
I have a fun Peter Mooney story because
Oh my God.
Peter Mooney was like a very old friend of Kate's,
Careful.
and what? And I ended up doing a movie with him. And so what we would do is we would send photos of us like on dates all the time. And eventually it got to the point where we were like sending photos of us like laughing over cake, and we had little ice cream on our nose.
Ice cream on
and,
their noses.
like constantly, and she got so, I think it did get to you eventually, didn't it?
No, I was a little jealous because
That's what I wanted.
That's
like-
all I wanted.
it got to you.
I was a little jealous of both of you. I was jealous of both of you because I don't get to hang out with you very much, and I don't get to hang out with him very much.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh so hard because the pictures were like, honestly, it was like they were on romantic dates at like amusement
Yeah.
parks and stuff. It
Tandem
was very funny.
bicycles and we're on set together sharing a sandwich, and like it was just but it was literally like, hey Peter, come here, let's just do it. And then like share the sandwich, and then he would go off and do his thing, I go off and do my thing. It was like,
There was a guy who about 10 years ago, real quick story. He passed out drunk at a bar and left his phone, out. And the next day he woke up and there were 10 or 15 photos of Tom Hanks doing poses with him passed out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of genius.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
you can Google the story. But
If I ever meet someone passed out, I'm totally doing that. Putting pictures of Tom Hanks on
Don't do it if it's a woman.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh God,
You won't get elected.
that's it.
guys,
Oh,
this
no.
was
Or will you?
this,
Oh yeah, it depends.
This was such a treat to have you both. Christian Unpronounceable provided the MCU question, by the way. I'm sorry, Christian.
Great,
But
great,
to
yeah.
have you guys together, this was really cool. Means a lot to me to have you both. You're both tremendous parts of my my Stargate life, and I think that you're both amazing. So to have you both on together is
It's a pleasure, man. It's always.
really
I mean,
cool.
it's the reason why we're here is because of you. So
I remember David, you and I
thank you for
had
doing this.
thank you. The first one we had, David wrote me Kate, and he said, "I'll do one. I'll do one episode because you're launching this." And then we're not finished with the first one. He's like, "So when am I back?" And it's like,
Yeah.
I think something's working.
I don't like to talk about myself. So According to Kate.
I'll do one a week.
Yes.
Guys, all the best. Continued good fortune, and continue to do the work that you both are doing. And thank you for coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you much.
I'll talk to you
Thanks,
guys
everyone.
really soon. That was David Hewlett and Kate Hewlett, Meredith McKay, and Jeannie Miller of Stargate Atlantis. Really appreciate you all tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please do consider hitting that like button. It makes a difference with the show and will help it continue to grow its audience. And please also consider sharing this video with a Stargate friend. And if you want to get notified about future episodes, click the subscribe icon. And if you plan to watch live, giving the bell icon a click so that it'll notify you of any schedule changes, which happened with this episode, so it's a good idea. And bear in mind, clips from this live stream will be released over the course of the next few weeks on both the Dial the Gate and GateWorld.net YouTube channels. My tremendous thanks to my moderating team, Summer, Tracy, Anthony, Jeremy, Marcia. You guys make the show possible. To Frederick Marcoux at Concepts Web, keeping DialTheGate.com up and running. The amazing work that Eagle SG is doing, Matt, on my graphics with the puddle jumper flying over in this opening. It's really cool. We've got a number of different shows, including Tori Higginson and Rachel Luttrell next weekend, a double interview with them. So keep it on dialthegate.com and look at all those details for the times that you can show up live and submit your questions. My name is David Reed for Dial the Gate, and I'll see you on the other side.